what the big deal about Cracker Jack is. Did you ever go and buy a pack of Cracker Jack thinking you're going to get a prize and find no prize in the box?
You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Freehand is beating his net at the plate. Crawford is over there watching. Good see, sir. You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on. Oh, I must be in the front row.
Speaking of shit talk, Smitty was pointing this out. I try to avoid Chicago sports radio during Bears season because it's pretty unbearable. So I haven't been listening. But
I see what you did there.
It's unbearable. In White Sox news, no surprise, Smitty and I called this weeks ago that months ago, the Sox picked up the $20 million option on Luis Roberts' contract. I don't see anything wrong with it, but apparently other people do for some reason. They have the money.
Yeah.
There is still some crazy possibility he could have some trade value if all the pieces fell into place, but what do you have nothing to lose by giving him $20 million. It's not slowing the direction the team's going in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, we talked about it at the trade deadline when they did not trade him. They had no choice but to sign him long-term, or not long-term, but to pick up the option for the year because they're running it to the very end to see if they can get any trade value out of him. It's $20 million, which doesn't affect anything besides Jerry's pocketbook. I've heard Sox fans, specifically Lawrence Holmes on the Spiegel and Holmes show on 670 The Score, afternoons there in Chicago, a lifelong White Sox fan, was livid about it. And it's like, how are you caught off guard by this? Like, they had no other choice. Well, I mean, essentially, and I made the argument 3 months ago, that Chris Getz backed himself into a corner.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like this is a great option, but they have no other options at this point. Lawrence Holmes was freaking out about the $20 million, and he's using the argument, well, you could have gotten two better players potentially for $10 million a piece, which is not inaccurate. Because $20 million is definitely an overpay for how often injured Luis Robert is and what little production you've got out of him, inconsistent production. But your payroll now has ballooned to $59 million with this.
Oh my God!
For 2026 with this addition.
I know, exactly. Shut the fuck up, folks.
Go get your two different $10 million free agents, and now you're up to $79 million.
My goodness.
What Holmes was saying, it's kind of a paranoid, and maybe not paranoid, maybe justified, but he's saying that though Jerry and the White Sox will say, well, we can't spend any more money because of this $20 million, which is fucking ridiculous. Your payroll has been over $100 million for, just 3 years ago, two or 3 years ago. So I think Lawrence Holmes and other Sox fans that are freaking out about this either weren't paying attention, which I don't think is the case with Holmes, or just have their latent rage against Jerry and the White Sox, just want to be angry about something. Cause this is a foregone conclusion. As soon as he didn't get traded at the deadline, they were going to have to do this. It's not a burden. It only affects Jerry's pocketbook, and it should not affect what they want to do in free agency at all.
Yeah. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it's real simple here. Letting them walk away because of Getz backing himself in the corner is, to me, more dumb than picking up the $20 million, because there always is the what if. I did find Chris Getz's quote. Did you see the quote? Did you hear the quote from the Zoom?
No.
I'm going to read it because it'll be enjoyable. We're planning on him being in a White Sox uniform, Getz said during a Tuesday evening Zoom. What he did in the second half was very indicative of what he's capable of doing and how that can impact our team. You look at the production we had when he was in the lineup, and oftentimes it helped us win baseball games. Now, the part of this I find funny is, yes, it is very indicative because he ended up in the second half with a grade 2 hamstring strain. Yeah. So that's very indicative of what Luis Robert could do with the White Sox.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So, Chris, you were dead on. When he's in the lineup, he was very productive in the second half, but he's also very injured in the second half. So it's all exactly what you'd get out of Lewis Robert.
Yeah, he's not lying.
You're not lying, Chris. It's very indicative of his performance.
There's another aspect to this that I should have done more research on, but there is a minimal level of salary that every team has to have going into a season, which they've got to be flirting with, being in the $50 million range. So I think they had to spend that $20 million just to get up to the threshold even. And then everything else is gravy after that. If they receive that, I'm sorry, I'm thinking this through on the air.
If they receive the sharing, right?
Yeah, if they so I doubt that the White Sox would, because they're certainly not in a small market, even though they perpetually act like a small market team. So I'm not sure what that situation is. So maybe they don't have to spend a fucking dime, but I don't know if it may have been a mitigating factor, but it's still ridiculous that your payroll is now up to $59 million and people are freaking out about it.
And come on, guys, let's not forget, we've got new money in the White Sox ownership group. We got the Ishbia brothers money. So, I mean, it may be different. I'm not saying it's going to be, but there's a hopeful Sox fan in me that says, okay, we got Lewis Robert. It was the only thing you could do, smart or not smart. It was the only thing you could do. To your point, it's only got him $59 million in right now.
Yeah.
To me, I'm looking at you probably, again, the optimistic side, you got like $40 million to spend there.
Seems like it.
Right? Be right at $100 million. That's at the minimum you should be if you're the White Sox. The minimum should be $100 million in on the team.
I doubt it's going to get that high, but there's definitely going to be more free agents added. There's no reason why it can't, for sure. So there's no reason not to be a little bit more optimistic as a Sox fan. Mainly because you guys suffered so many fucking pitching injuries going into the offseason, or going into spring training essentially last year.
Yeah,
you lost a ton of arms that should be coming back. It should be, and you saw your 20 game improvement this past year. I don't know that you can extrapolate that to another 20 game improvement.
I sure can, just like that.
Yeah. So now you're going to be 500. So
yeah. See, it's that easy. We're 500 guys. After we spend our $40 million, I got us banked on. I got it booked.
I was going to do a whole show about, where free agents might go, but that's what everybody's doing right now. And nobody has any fucking idea, especially with the weird situation happening on the horizon with the potential lockout. So, I mean, I wouldn't even know what free agents would be interested in going to the South Side or who would be available. We've got a lot of things that need to play out. We mentioned it briefly last show. I was hoping this could be a crazy, fast free agent season where trades are happening and all sorts of stuff happening quick. And I'm starting to realize or believe that this is going to be another one of those seasons where nothing happens until February, or by the time training camp starts,
right? Or
pitchers and catchers are reporting, or player games are happening in Florida and Arizona. I fear that it's going to be a cold stove throughout this winter, which is a bummer, but I guess I could be totally wrong.
One guy poured beer all over my head. The guy said, "How can you take that?" I said, "Look, that man didn't do nothing. He poured some beer on my head. He's just showing he's a White Sox fan. There ain't nothing wrong with that."
Sparky, a million thanks for, as always, the most interesting interview. And now today, let's just have a lot of thrilling baseball and not so many fisticuffs.